Dear students, how are you today? I hope you are well. Today, I shall teach you English grammar. Our lesson is transformation of sentences. Dear students, you look at the whiteboard. You can see I have written some sentences on the board and try to solve one by one. Now, the first sentence, we are proud of our freedom fighter. So, we make it interrogative sentence. You know that in the transformation of sentences, if you find interrogative, you will make it negative interrogative. You will make it negative interrogative. Now, I can write aren't we proud? Aren't we proud of our freedom fighters? Freedom fighters, and you put it after the end of the sentence sign of interrogation. Number 2, their contribution will never be forgotten. Make it affirmative sentence. In the transformation of sentences, if you find affirmative, you will sometimes change the word and put opposite word. Their contribution will never be forgotten. You will know that you will change never into always and forgotten into remembered. Now you will write their contribution will always be remembered. Their contribution will always be remembered. Number 3, their sacrifice is greater than any other thing. You will make it positive. Dear students, you know that in the positive sentence, you will write no other first. You will write first no other. Then write thing. No other thing, and you put verb is, and greater is in comparative form. Now you will make it positive form. great, and you use as before great. As great as. No other thing is as great as their sacrifice. As their sacrifice. Dear students, in the positive form, you will write first no other, and then write thing, then you will write verb is, and you will change greater into great, and before it you will write as, and after it you will write as, and then last you will write their sacrifice. Now number 4, but today many of them lead a very miserable life. You can see that it will make it complex sentence. Dear students, you know that a complex sentence contains at least 2 sentences, but you can see that in this sentence it contains only 1 sentence. So we make it 2 sentences. But today, many of them lead a life and you can see a very miserable. I have not write because I will make it a sentence with this remaining words. So you know that life indicates things. So if we find things, we use which. As which. But today many of them lead a life which. Now you will put verb is, which is very miserable. Which is very miserable. Dear students, look at this sentence again. But today we have write accordingly, and many of them we also write accordingly, lead a life. But we use which because we have to make it a complex sentence. Life means, life indicates things, so we use which, and verb is, and remaining word very miserable, you will write very miserable. So a complex sentence contains at least 2 sentences. You can see that many of them lead a life. It is a sentence, and which is very miserable, it is also another kind of sentence. So a complex sentence contains 2 kind of sentences at least. Number 5. If we take proper steps, their condition may improve. Simple sentence. If we find 2 kind of sentences. First sentence, if we take proper steps, and second sentences, their contribution may improve. So the first sentence contains conjunction if. We change it into a phrase. we change it into a phrase. First, we write by. By is a kind of preposition. So, after preposition, if we use verb, we have to add ing to the verb. Take, taking. By taking proper steps. By taking proper steps, we change. If we take proper steps, by taking proper steps, it is one kind of phrase. So another sentence, another part of the sentence, we write accordingly. Their condition may improve. By taking proper steps, dear students, we write again, because in the first sentence we omit we, so we use here we may improve their condition. Their allowance should be increased. Active voice. Their contribution, allowance should be increased. Dear students, you see that the sentence is in the passive voice. We use it in the active voice. So, we use as subject the government. The government should increase their allowance. Dear students, look at the sentence. In the question, we can see that there is no object, so we use object, the government, and we also write it as subject. The government should increase their allowance. Number 7, we should respect them. Passive voice. You know that the object of active voice, we make it subject. They should, and for passive you will use be, should be. They should be respected. They should be respected by us. Number 4, we should never forget their sacrifice. Affirmative. Dear students, we will use in the affirmative sentence opposite word. We should never into always. We should always forget into remember. We should always remember their sacrifice. sacrifice. We should regard their sacrifice, make it negative. So we should not, and regard opposite meaning disregard. We should not disregard their sacrifice. And the last sentence, the freedom fighters are the real heroes. Complex. Dear students, the fighters in this sentence, the fighters indicates men, so we use who. The fighters who for freedom are the real heroes. Dear students, you see that the sentence into complex one. So stay home and follow the rules of health. Thank you all.